Remember? It
Huge
shows
mood,
us a
Brittany. It's
countdown.
like, hide the things behind me.
All right.
Don't mind
Now
the
I'm gonna
random
make
wig
sure.
hanging out of a plastic bag.
Look,
Make
I
sure
have
we
my,
go.
I
Hold
have
on,
my
we got
pee
it.
for,
We got it. We're good.
We
my
got
pee
it.
for
We're good.
Papa's kitty.
There we go. Look at us.
I
Look at
also
us.
have like
Papa's party.
the rainbow lights on because look, it's my new toy.
Go
Sorry,
off.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
Baby's
I'm
first
not
rave.
sorry.
You shouldn't
Maybe
be.
it's supposed
All right.
As it gets darker, I'm just gonna be moving more rainbow.
All checks are thumbs up. We are live on Facebook, live on Twitch, and live on YouTube. So, welcome everybody to Con Culture Podcast. We are starting the show on a serious note, and then we'll get right into the usual shenanigans. Because of the SAG-AFTRA strike and the Writers Guild strike, we did want to release a statement. We posted earlier in our social media earlier in the week, so we do have a statement on that now. I'll read it, and hopefully I read well. In light of the strikes going on, we are focusing on what we love most. We love cosplays and cons. As stated on Tuesday, there will be no discussing upcoming movies. For us, it's the perfect opportunity to expand our friendships and bring light to the amazing cosplayers, such as Illuminatikittn and others that we hope to have. So we won't be doing any current project movie reviews and stuff, but we will still be getting to know amazing cosplayers, authors, writers, all kinds of cool people, artists, just diving deeper into the con scene. So, whose dog was that? Was that your low?
He wants to talk about the strike.
Well, we have the dog support too. Everybody's in on it. So, yes, welcome our guest, Illuminatikittn, Katie.
Hi.
Let's go.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
No, thank you for being here.
It was kind of a no-brainer, to be honest.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
going
We
through
saw
our
you Saturday.
list.
We're like, oh my gosh.
We need her on the show. Like,
Thank you.
ASAP.
Bunch of kids like, were like, can you come out and hang out with us for a little bit?
Please?
Like,
Can Katie
Hey,
come on
I
and play
was-
mermaids,
oh
please?
my God.
Please?
My mom said you could come over. Can you come over?
I
pretty
am
much what
still
we
not over that little girl who was like obsessed with me.
Oh,
She's
the
like,
little mom.
I love
The little mom.
Aloy. Yeah. She's like, Aloy's gonna be my next costume, and I was like, oh.
Oh,
She was
that
such
just
a-
makes it.
absolute
Yeah.
peach. We saw her
She
the
was.
next day, and she drew little mock pictures for a bunch of little people at their
Yeah.
booths. She was
My
heart
the
melted.
sweetest kid.
Yeah.
That's one of the most amazing parts of cosplaying, I have to say, is when the kids are like, oh my God, I love your costume, or you're my hero, and you have those intimate moments. Like, I know our guest, Jay, had an awesome moment, and I loved how he called everybody, every little Spider-Man that came to his booth. He was like, hey, Spider-Man. And they just like stood up a little taller, and they're like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man too.
Oh my
Like,
gosh. Yeah.
those awesome moments are definitely it for me.
Sure.
But let's get into your moment. Speaking of heroes and cosplay, let's get your cosplay origin story, Katie. How did you get into this crazy world of cosplay?
Oh man, so I was always a theater kid. I was always kind of a nerd, like speaking of Spider-Man, like Spider-Man when the Sam Raimi movies came
Yes.
out, is like
Yes.
since then I have been like obsessed with Spider-Man. And then kind of in my teenage years I got a little bit edgier with like Tumblr, and I was a huge Tumblr girl and did fandom that way. And that's when I really started like wanting to cosplay or kind of looking at other people cosplaying. I remember at that time they had the Heroes of Cosplay show
Yes.
on
Yeah.
Sci-Fi,
Yeah.
and I think it
Remember
only
that
ran
show.
for like one season or whatever,
It
but
was.
I saw them and I was like, oh my God, like that's so amazing.
How do I do that?
Exactly. When I was 16, I made like probably my first like homemade costume. Like I went full out for Halloween. I did a weeping angel, and
Stop.
Yes. And I thought, oh my God, I was like, I'm going to wreak so much chaos with this. But I got like a bed sheet and I like spray painted it. Oh, your TARDIS. I love it. One of my first big fandoms, but
Yes.
and then I did the face paint and everything. One of my first cosplay mistakes of many to come. I did not. I was too lazy. I was too lazy to paint the rest of my arms gray, so I spray painted my arms. And 16-year-old me was going to class with gray spray paint arms for about 2 weeks.
Oh my
But
gosh.
Worth it.
it was so worth it. It was so I felt like the coolest person ever,
Dedicated
with
to the
this
craft.
homemade costume. But yeah, so that was kind of really the start of fandom for me. And then I went to my first convention right out of high school. I think 2013 when I graduated, and I went as Merida. And speaking
I love
of,
that.
yeah, the whole thing was like held together with a
Wait.
basting stitch,
I
right?
have a
Like
Merida
no
somewhere.
real reinforcements. And then like speaking of kids, these kids would come up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, like Merida," and I was so into it. I was like going around talking in a Scottish accent and doing the whole thing, and like that. Just ever since then, I've been absolutely obsessed.
Just hooked.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
awesome.
That's
That
a
is
beautiful
such a good way to
origin
get into
story.
it.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you.
how did you feel at your first con interacting with other people cosplaying? Now, this isn't just a Halloween thing. This is like a holy shit. There's a whole culture of people doing this.
It was just so cool, and people conventions have come a long way, especially like regarding how you treat other people and how you interact with people. But I look back on almost every convention I've been to, and there's always so much more people that are nice, awesome, supportive, welcoming than there are bad people. I feel sorry for people who had such terrible impressions, and it stuck with them. But people are just so great at conventions, and they have been for a long time. And just, that feeling of recognizing someone all the way across the convention hall, and you're like, you, and you go hunt them down, and kind of that just like ecstatic joy. It keeps you going throughout the weekend.
It definitely does.
Absolutely. And you
That was
saying,
us Saturday.
like catching
Yeah.
people from like across the con floor. I remember that like literally the first time I laid eyes on you, we're at our booth Saturday morning, and it's like crazy hustle bustle. We're getting people signed up, and I'm just kind of scanning the crowd, and I look down and I see your headpiece first. And I literally went, "Hey, Lloyd!" Like I was like,
I'm so
like
glad
that.
you recognize
Like
it.
that.
It's so distinct. It's like huge
It is
with the feathers
and, like,
on top. Yeah.
Horizon is like both of the games are just like some of my favorite video games out there, and so to see an Aloy, which like I feel like that's a pretty niche character, unless you're like in the video game world.
Oh, for sure.
And so to see Aloy, and I was like, ah! Like I ran like down the aisle to go get you. I was like, sign up for the contest, please. And you were like, oh yeah, I'm coming that way. Like you're probably like, who is this psycho dressed up like the piranha plant? Like a yassified.
No, I was
Yes.
literally like, I was
They'll
like,
find you.
book it straight to the cosplayer area. I'm going. Like,
Yeah.
they're coming for me. They're not going to stop me.
That's awesome. You were on a mission. No, yeah.
I
I was
was.
just
I was.
like set up at the camera, and that's exactly how she told it. Is how I heard Aloy. I was like, what the fuck? What's going
Yeah,
on?
I like screamed.
Yeah.
Like I think my voice was like,
It got
I was like,
you.
I was literally right next to you. She's like, "Aloy," gone.
and I'm like in my little sparkly boots. I'm like, I gotta go get Aloy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and y'all looked fabulous. All of y'all
Aw.
looked
Aw,
fabulous, by the
thank
way. It
you.
was wonderful, wonderful. But,
you.
that's kind of one of my favorite things about making costumes. Like, I will cosplay, bought cosplays. I do all of it. But the made ones are so unique and so niche.
Yes.
And you may not get the most interactions or the most recognition, but the people that do recognize you go
Yes.
absolutely like
Wild.
ape over it.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it hits and the right fandom sees it, like, oh, it's over.
sure.
Because I was after we got to know you, meet you, we were like, you think we can get her on as a guest? So I, of course, we were going through your Instagram and like, we'll DM her and see. She probably will say no, but hey, it's worth a shot. So yeah, we just always assume
Why would
that
I
people are
say
gonna be
no? This is so
don't know.
cool.
Look, because you're so cool, and we're like,
exactly.
hey,
We're not-
So
Oh,
she's way
be
too
on
cool
our
for us.
show.
I'm just a human. I'm just a human.
Yeah, so I was going through your cosplays, and holy shit, you have a lot of amazing. Like most recently, the ones I love the most are your Witchers.
Yeah.
Oh,
your
thank you.
Yennefer and your Ciri. I'm like, ooh. So, which one of your cosplays most recently stands out to you as far as the time it took to make it and just getting the shots of it? Which one stands out to you in your mind?
Honestly, like I have made so many. I think for the past maybe 3 years, I've cranked out at least one costume a month. Whether it's bought or I made it, but definitely I am so proud of Aloy. I love looking at it, in the corner of my room.
Oh my gosh. It's beautiful.
My Witcher cosplays I did a couple of years ago. I did it for like a Halloween. I did like a Witcherween. Yeah, and I love the Witcher series. It's one of my favorite book series, one of my favorite games. But definitely Aloy has to be one of my most favorite that I'm proud of. I went through a really long period of burnout. I think last fall and earlier this spring, I had done the cosplay whole content making machine for money. I tried to monetize it and make it my job. I mean, obviously I have my full-time job that I love. But I kind of pushed myself and I was making content that I was not really proud of. I was rushing cosplays because for some reason I feel like I got to make a new costume every convention I go to, and I was really, and I was really unhappy with what I was producing. And this year I was like, I need to slow down. I want to do competitions because I want to remember why I loved crafting.
Yes.
And so I made Aloy, and I made her in 3 weeks, and I just I love how it turned out.
As you
awesome.
should
Your
love
Aloy
how it
was-
3
turned out.
weeks? That's amazing. That would have taken me like 3 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At
And
least.
No,
Your
it's
Alien was such a cool experience to bring a book like that. I've done a lot of cosplay contests over the years, and I've never had someone bring a book like that and really take us on a true journey through your build. And that to me was just such a fun experience because I felt like I was going with it through you the whole way. So don't stop ever doing that because that was just such a unique way to show off your costume. I had to bring it up because I was
and then
like,
you
it was such a
included
unique experience for us
yes,
too.
it was, and that you included little facts about it and
The
that
reusable material,
Yes,
I love that.
it was so cool. It was really, really cool. And like Brittany said, it was a cool experience for us, to be to watch this come to fruition, and then for you to be standing right there in front of us while we're going through this flip book of the making of this cosplay. So it was
Just
amazing.
thank you
So
for sharing
thank you.
your beautiful costume.
That was
with us.
absolutely amazing. Separated you from the crowd.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah, as far as the the sustainable stuff and the materials, I've really kind of made it my mission in the past couple of years to be as sustainable as possible with cosplay, whether it's budget wise and also materials and impact it has on the ecological state around us. So I really have been wanting to do that, and what a perfect opportunity with all the Forbidden West costumes that are all made out of natural
Exactly.
materials. And in my personal life, if I had time, I would sew my own clothes and do all this. But I'm very it's hard to be a geek and be consumer conscious because so much of it is built around collectibles and new media, subscriptions, games, all of that. Cosplay specifically, I know a lot of cosplayers struggle being on a budget, or maybe they're low income and they can't cosplay or feel like they can't cosplay. And I don't ever want people to feel like that. So I try my best to model that, Aloy, I think I probably spent $150 on Aloy.
Oh, wow.
That's
Whoa.
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I always get my fabrics from Goodwill. The grass, when it came to her headdress and everything, I went out back and I clipped some grass.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You
Yeah.
are so cool. You were like the coolest person I've ever met.
How about the return
No,
on that
you.
investment though? $150. Now here's a question: did you know you won when we were announcing the winners in like third place? Like, were you like, it's about to be me? Or
You
were like,
never
I'm about
know.
to walk up.
No, you never know. You never know. I took Aloy to Fan Expo Dallas, and the best in show, the one that got to move on to Canada, was a 10th Doctor costume. And he was floored, and I was certainly not, the best person there. Like, there were so many people in big armor sets and LEDs. There was a girl who had expandable wings and like a smoking pauldron, and
Jesus.
and that's what won. And so you really never know, and it kind of it comes down to judges' bias, and it comes down to just kind of how many T's you cross and I's you dot. Really.
Yes.
Did you walk the con floor at Fan Expo?
I did.
I was pretty sure I had saw that costume at Fan Expo because me and Juan, we were at Fan Expo.
Yeah, we
too.
were there.
Okay.
And I could have sworn I had seen you, and I was like, I remember seeing, and it was so busy and so crowded in that place. You could barely, like, I was running around doing podcast stuff, and I was trying to ask people questions, and I remember seeing you, and I was like, I need to get her, but you were already gone by that point. And then when I saw you that weekend and I heard, like, that you hadn't placed, I was like, I'm about to make it. Like,
We tried
Yeah.
so hard not to be biased,
Yeah.
but we
You
all
know-
looked at each other.
So gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I learned so much by being in that competition. And now I've got, the bug. I'm like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to have a
Yes.
sewing costume, and then you'll see. No.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's good. You took it as motivation to move forward as opposed to being,
for sure,
dissuaded
for
by
sure, for sure. And that's kind of just what I learned about the way that they judged those really, really big contests is you have to be perfect. If you're not perfect in a medium, then just set it aside, focus on what you're really good at, because at the end of the day, it's execution of a singular technique. So that's what I learned from that one. But it was a really great experience. I met lots of really great people, really talented people. And, I was only walking the con floor for about 4 hours, in Aloy, but even Friday out of cosplay, like, I love nerds. I love conventions.
Same, that's why we
Everyone
started
is
the
so
show.
wonderful. Yeah.
All right. I
Everyone's
have a hypothetical
so awesome.
question. Okay, you're all
Okay.
about
Okay.
saving.
Here we go.
I know you're about saving material and being budgety, but if you didn't have a budget and money was no object, what costume would you want to build?
Okay. So I am currently working on, and this is kind of tying into that question, because I have not spent money on good fabric in years. So I spent $150 on some like really good fabric. I got like Ralph Lauren fabric, and then I got like 4-way stretch vinyl. But I'm making a Spider-Man 2099
Oh
suit
my
right now.
goodness.
Yeah. From scratch. I know, I'm terrified. Because sewing is not my strong suit, but because I really want to kind of level up my craftsmanship and sew, I'm practicing on this, and I got really expensive fabric to do so.
Oh my gosh,
Do it.
please keep us updated on that, please.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I actually have some tests here. So yeah, so here's kind of the vinyl that I got. It's like really stretch. It's 4-way stretch.
Oh,
and
shiny.
Yeah, it's shiny. And then I've got this Ralph Lauren kind of mesh, and then I've been doing this puff paint in different kind of patterns to
Oh.
see what it's gonna
That
look
is
like.
So cool.
Yeah, and trying out,
It's not-
some different stitches and
It's not a
what
spot
was it?
paint, like you have to.
You have
Yes,
to.
You gotta have that
You have
texture.
to.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's just flat spandex. So.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. I'm a
excited
little
for you.
little
That's
scared.
great.
You're gonna
Yeah.
kill it.
It sounds
You
like you
are.
got the bug back that you wanted. You were lost of creativity. You were void of the inspiration to do it. So do you think this year you kind of found it again, and you're in and you're having fun again with your craft?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think a lot of my cynicism has kind of gone away too. I know, especially if you're like online and you're a content creator, like it can get rough. Like you get pretty disenchanted either, with
Taxing, yeah.
with your body image,
Yeah.
the number game, you know, comparing yourself constantly to other people that might have more resources than you. So, you know, I've kind of just realized, you know, I'm going to cosplay no matter if people are watching. You know, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And so that's what's keeping me going, and that's what makes me excited.
That's the best way to
I
do
love
it.
that.
That's the way to execute. We've all four of us have been doing this for years now, and I think the reason we can continue doing the show and continue having fun is because we don't put too much stock in what other people have to say about us, negative or positive. We love meeting everybody, love vibing with everyone, but I don't think we let it weigh on us as much as some people do. And you can really get just turned off by social media if you let all those opinions go in, which is why before the show you were talking about filtering certain comments out. I think things like that are great to protect your mental health, because we are all human. Like, yes, people on the internet are anonymous and they're yelling and saying these awful things, but you're still a human hearing and
Yeah.
reading all of these awful things. So you do have to protect yourself from that. And
For sure.
just having fun with it is the best way to do it. So that's awesome to hear. Trey, do you have a question for Katie? So you've been bystanding back there.
Well, I've been trying to get a word in. Everyone's so excited.
I know
I'm
we are
sorry.
all
I can
fanning
talk
out
forever about this
way
stuff.
too
Oh my
hard.
god.
No, Katie, it's not you. It's us fawning over you. That's the issue.
No, so I can definitely tell she's got this part where she posted this TikTok that absolutely had me dying. It was like, here, have another sacrifice. It was like cosplaying. It's just like, no, please have another sacrifice. It's like that's just nailed right on the head. What's like when you get your spark back, it's like you get all these cosplayings and it's like, I want to do them all. But it's like, I'm already working on this one. Who do I do another one? It's like, okay. So love following Katie on TikTok. Follow her.
Oh,
You're missing out.
Let's
You know,
see. Oh no, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I've actually been having more fun on TikTok because like I have less of a following on TikTok. So I feel like I can kind of like
Creative
break
freedom.
the mold. Yeah, and be like more like goofy, cuz I am a huge derp. Like you know, my Instagram pictures, they're like, ooh, cool, sexy, you know, and that is
more
not
polished.
me at all. Like,
Feel that.
yeah.
I think you
But
raised
it's
on my
kind
next
of
question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask which platform do you like using the most? Of TikTok more than Instagram.
Yeah, you know, I do like, I don't know. I like I said, I like the creative freedom. I do get stuck in kind of like the doom scroll, you know, but
yeah.
It's easy to do. It's easy
It's
to
Yeah.
do.
yeah, and I don't know, like the way I think of my posts is not really like documentation, which I know there's a whole thing of like document, don't create, but to me I like to create pieces of art. So I feel like I can get a bit more cinematic. And I mean, I don't really have anything super cinematic right now.
No, but you
But-
having seen some of your TikToks, you do. You come in at different angles.
Oh, yeah.
You act in certain ways, and you get certain shots, and it is cinematic. You piece it together, you edit it. It looks awesome, and it's fun, and it has this just really cool vibe that comes off of your videos. Like you're
thank
having
you.
fun doing it, and we can tell watching it.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna be filming some TikToks after this, so that's why I've been fighting with my nail glue for the past 30 minutes to open. But
Oh, I hate that when it gets sealed shut.
yeah,
It'll
yeah,
get there. Just keep working it. Keep working it the whole show. So I think we have all taken a turn at asking questions, and I could continue asking questions for days, but I think we should get to the super serious question.
Oh yeah.
The one that you make sure you put filters on your comments about this question, because
oh no.
this is serious stuff. That
There's
people-
only
As long
one
as
right
it's not
answer.
feet.
yeah, there's only one right answer, and you're going to be judged by every cast member by your
Okay.
answer. So, Gigi, if you will.
Okay. If you were a Girl Scout cookie, which cookie would you be?
Dun, dun, dun.
I think the Samoa.
Yes, is correct.
I know you were going to say that.
Oh my gosh!
Samoa's
It
on
almost feels like a zodiac. Like
Right? No, it's
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah.
like I'm a Samoa sun, a Trevor
Yeah.
moon,
am I the non-toxic cookie?
Yeah.
right?
I'd like to be that.
I love it.
Coca-Cola Rising.
I
Yeah.
knew it's so funny. So I have this like theory with like the different Girl Scout cookies and what people say, like what whenever like their personality type. And I knew you were gonna say Samoa before you even said it. I was like, oh, she's a Samoa 100%. And then you said it. I was like, ha ha.
I think it's funny that the past 3 females we've interviewed, because we did some rapid fires at a nice little AliCon that was in town, and the past 3 females we've asked have all been Samoas, and they all
Really?
gave off like Samoa vibes.
It's all like
Yeah.
the like chill, like down to earth,
Yes.
fun,
Very
like,
approachable,
Yes.
warm. Like Horror Haley and Maddie Mason were the other 2. And
Oh
they
my
are
gosh, I love Maddie
sweethearts.
Mason.
Yeah.
I worked a convention with her. She is so sweet.
She is
Yes.
very sweet. So now you see
Samoa.
that's the energy you give off too. The
Samoa energy.
See, here's
Yeah.
the thing. If I'm a trefoil cookie. That's what I am.
Okay.
I'm a little shortbread butter cookie. Exactly.
Crisp, to the point.
There's
Yeah.
nothing secret about it. You see it. That's what it is through and through.
Yeah.
There's no
so
layers.
You
What is
definitely
everyone
are
else?
Samoa. I'm Samoa.
Nice.
At least that's what they
definitely
tell me.
Samoas.
I've never ate
I'm
them.
a
A thin mint.
I'm
Thin mint.
yeah.
You're
I'm-
everyone's
I'm
favorite cookie.
I'm everyone's favorite cookie. I'm a classic.
I don't know.
Nobody
Whenever
really,
when we did the Girl Scout,
I got Samoa
Personality
though.
test?
Samoa. No, the Girl Scout. Oh my gosh.
The test.
The cookie bowl.
The cookie bowl. Thank you.
Cookie bowl.
So we did it
We did,
where
like,
we
a
did like
contest
a
in our
whole
story.
thing. Yeah, where we did like a brackets, and it was like they were
Vote
all
for your
fighting.
favorite cookie. So
Yeah.
the internet was telling us what their favorite Girl Scout, and we thought for sure
Thin Mints
like
were gonna
Thin Mints
sweep.
for the win.
Right.
They got knocked
But at
out
the
the
end-
second
Yeah.
round. It was
Oh,
down to trefoil cookies and Samoas. You can watch it in our Instagram
wild.
stories. I
Yeah,
think we have
I think it's in the highlights. It was like a
I'm
whole
gonna
It's
bracket.
look
like
We were
now.
football
like,
season, and I think we were all like football.
It
now,
is.
so
You
we're
Yeah,
can
like
watch
a
it.
March
Madness.
Madness.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah, it was
go,
like a
if
March
you go,
Madness.
oh my gosh, it's so bright. It's this purple cookie bowl. Oh
Yeah.
God. Oh God. And we have all of it, so you can like scroll.
Oh my God, I'm
through.
gonna have to go look through it.
See
Yeah.
like how it was going. We were like in our chat, like, oh my god, I cannot believe.
Like we were like, it was so silly.
if Samoas don't win,
was
we
fun.
riot.
Yep.
We should
I'm
do
right.
that again this football season. We should do.
Yeah,
that
Oh,
We
yeah.
should find an like do with like fast food or something. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like you know,
that
do like
can get even more competitive.
right.
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay.
it's funny. It's so funny. Anyway, sorry.
it.
Yes.
Like
we
Whataburger and
digress.
In-N-Out. I know. So as we were saying,
Kittens,
tangents.
Kittens.
Yeah, that's what
Ooh,
this show's
focus.
about. So what is next for you, Katie? What con are you looking forward to next? We already know your cosplay plan, what you're working on, but what con are you going to next? What are you looking forward to next in the year?
So I am looking forward to Anime Houston. I am fortunate enough to be a guest there. So that is going to be the
Nice.
second weekend of August. Yeah, they're super run by a super great company. They're always very, very great to their guests, and the convention is always super fun. It's a hotel convention, so it's always great to have it all in one place. But I'm very, very much looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to the cosplay contest. Like, I feel like every year people level it up, So I'm excited to see what people bring to the table, and
Yeah,
I'm
and
excited to take what I learned from being judged and reapplying that.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
so you're judging
Are you gonna be a
there.
judge?
Are you going to be a
Oh,
judge?
the tables have turned.
The two
I
tables.
might be. I know normally they have
They
like
do
5
that.
cosplayers. I was a judge last year, so I would love to be a
Nice.
judge again. It is so fun. I mean,
is
it's
so fun.
hard,
Oh, yeah.
but
It
I
is
just
hard.
love talking to people about their craft.
Yeah, I did not envy these three's position. That's why I was the camera guy. I was like,
For
I'm
sure.
the MC, and I'm like the photo guy. I am not going to choose between Aloy and Hella and all these amazing cosplays that I love, all of them. Like, I'm not going to be the guy to tell them it wasn't good enough.
I was like,
Yeah,
can I
it's
give you all first place?
I love everybody that we awarded though, because like you said yourself that you were in a kind of like a creative slump. I think a lot of people experience that. A lot of cosplayers have gone through that.
Yeah.
I know myself included in that boat. And I feel like I found a new passion, and my passion isn't so much as like cosplay, but to make other people feel amazing about their cosplays. So when we were giving out like
Yeah.
our awards, I know that we definitely gave them to people who I feel absolutely needed that that in their life at that moment. Like they needed that to continue on, and I'm glad that we could keep people going in that community in a positive way. And that's all I think. Like I just
And
wanted
not
that
just the
positivity
winners.
out all weekend, and I even wanted to contribute that in the contest. Like I wanted to give it to people who I felt really just was not expecting it, and yeah.
Yeah, and not just the winners. Our guest actually told us very similar stories to yours, Katie, that we were about to stop, like hang it up. We were about to take a break. Like then you guys emailed about being a guest at the con, and they had this resurgence of just like energy and creativity flow. So that's all this podcast was created for, was to make people from this culture feel like they're never the odd man out. It's the party everyone's invited to. Whatever your fandom, whatever you're into is accepted here. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you're not being toxic towards anyone, we're going to be here to root you on and make you feel as special as can be in your cosplay. And that was the goal of the booth. I
And
hope
safe.
that you felt that when
And
you came
safe.
through.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a
for
good
sure.
vibe tribe.
Our booth is a safe booth, and we always preach that.
Yes.
I know all the cosplayers that I talked to, all the guest cosplayers were absolutely awesome and wonderful. And I wish I would have had more time with more of them. I think Life Like Jay, I saw him in passing and I was like, oh, you look cool. And he was like, you look cool. and that was the extent of our interaction. But everyone was so wonderful. And again, it was a super cool convention. And I had never heard of it until this year. And I was like,
So you coming
wow.
back next year?
That's what I'm hearing.
It's a 4-day
Probably.
con next year. It's a 4-day
Yeah,
con.
Four
they just
days?
announced it. Yeah, they just
Yeah.
announced the dates. It's going to be
Wow.
4 days. It's going to be
Look,
the end of
and the
June.
owner himself, he always likes to go like bigger the next year. So if that was his guest list this year, next year, I don't
That
even
was
know what's
insane.
gonna-
That was like Comic Palooza level
Yes.
Right?
cosplay guests.
It was like
or
Comic Palooza
guests,
without being like shoved.
Sandwiched
You know,
in.
yeah, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's his goal to be the most recognized Comic-Con in the country. He's a close personal friend of mine. We met him on the show. We all became his friend. But his goal, like Gigi said and Brittany say, is to top himself every year. He always wants a handful of holy shit, how did you get them type guests. Like
And
I
he
saw
does
the
it
list.
every year.
Yeah, he does it.
Every
I
year?
saw
Yeah.
every year he one-ups himself to the point where people are like, it's not real. At first, that was the
That's
biggest
literally
issue.
what I thought. I was like, Andrew Garfield, no way.
Yeah, right,
Sucks,
in
bro.
Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, the very first year they did it, it was a hotel con, but it had Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa. Like, who's going to believe that in a hotel con?
Right.
No
Right.
one was believing it, so he came on the show and talked about it, and we let people know in our community, we are friends with tons of cosplayers, we let them know, hey, this is real, and he wants to give like 50 passes to a bunch of cosplayers to come for free to go like be around the con. So we ended up getting free photo ops. We got to meet Jason Momoa, Ben Affleck. It was nuts. And after that, we just forever pledged our allegiance to this man.
And Bob, we trust.
In Bob we
And Bob, we
trust.
trust.
Yeah,
So-
no, it was a great experience. And, you know, I was so surprised that there weren't a ton of cosplayers there in that cosplay contest. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are like sleeping on this convention.
100%.
You know,
I
but
think what it is like you said, it doesn't seem real. It seems too good to be true. The prizes are so large,
Yeah.
and there's so many opportunities to win with different categories that people are like,
No
I don't
way.
think it's real. There's no way it's real.
Well, and
But
you-
would you believe me or believe us if we told you that we literally doubled the amount of contestants this year
From
than
the
we
year
had
before.
last year?
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Double.
Well, I know I'll be talking about this convention probably throughout the year.
Until
so-
next year when we see you
Yeah,
again.
until the next year. And then I'll be hyping it up. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we get to once again host the cosplay contest where we'll be bringing our podcast to put on an amazing show, and that's what we try to do. I know you talked about the other cosplay contests being so professional and stringent and like they really know what they're doing. I kind of wanted to walk the line of being welcoming to every cosplayer, but still having a large prize for the people who do want to take it serious, do want to go through all the steps that you did, document, pick the craft, pick their lane. So I wanted a contest that kind of encompassed all of it, and it seems like the show has the same vision. So I'm super excited for next year for all of us to be involved, and excited to get the guests and the judges because we get to pick them. So
Yeah. And I will say, like, participating in that cosplay contest, watching it, it reminded me of pre-COVID cosplay contests, and that the excitement was just next level. You know, like
Yes.
everyone was so happy to be there. Everyone felt like they were participating or like they were putting their best foot forward, and everyone was so excited to like hype each other up. Like it was great. It was great. You know, I don't think there didn't seem like a cynical person there, and that's awesome. I think
awesome.
we need to get back to that.
Yes.
that was the goal.
Yeah.
That was the goal for all of us
Yeah.
to just show what we love, and we'll pick some winners, but everybody's going to get to shine. That
For
was
sure.
the goal of the show, and I'm glad that you said that. So now we move forward. You're going to go to Anime Houston. Brittany and Gigi are going somewhere this weekend. Where are you girls headed?
We're going to Corpus Christi Comic Con.
Yes.
Yes.
See, I'm so excited. This is my first time going to Corpus. So
I've been
Oh my
there
gosh.
3
It'll be my
times. It is
it'll
such
be
a
my
fun
second.
time.
It'll be my second. The first time I went, I was a guest, so I won't
Yes.
be a guest, but we will be hosting a panel that Sunday at the con.
11 a.m. So if
11
you're gonna
a.m.
be,
It'll be a live podcast.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That sounds so much fun.
and one of
Yeah.
our behind-the-scenes ladies, Krista, is gonna be with
Yes.
us, and she'll actually
Yes.
be on
Joining
the
our
like
panel.
on the stage with
in
us.
front of the camera. She's
Yes.
done a couple like Star Wars reviews with us and done some stuff and filled in. She's amazing. She's a huge help. But yeah, she'll be in front of the camera. Well, Trey and I are going to a con in town. It is 18 and up only. Etchy Fiesta. It is very spicy. The theme is just awesome body confidence, burlesque shows, dance shows, striptease, like all of it.
I will
It
be
looks like
looking
a lot of fun.
respectfully.
Nice.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what
We
you're
will
gonna
be
be doing.
looking with our eyes, not
Respectfully.
our hands.
Look,
Respectfully
all
at a
I'm saying
distance.
is if you find anything smutty of season 4 Jean from Attack on Titan,
Keep it away from me. Got
Right.
it. Keep it away
or
from me.
Aizawa,
Got it.
or Aizawa,
Gotcha.
Didn't
Aizawa,
we
or
find-
season 4 Jean.
Got it.
Did
Don't
we
show it to
find
you.
out that the voice actor is going to
Yes,
be
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Jean's voice actor is going to be there.
No.
there? Yes.
We'll stay clear away from him.
Look,
Gotcha.
Yes.
I have my little
Yes.
Jean right here,
Oh.
and then I have my whole
Interesting.
Aizawa shrine. I can show you off.
She's like, another
live
time.
Off the
my
show.
Aizawa.
We don't want to be put
Another
on hold.
time.
It's
Yes.
bad.
But that's where we'll be, guys. That's where you can find us this weekend. We will be at Etchy Fiesta. We will be at Corpus Christi Comic Con. 2 great shows. Corpus has been awesome to us always giving us passes and access and just letting us document an amazing show. The owner, Daniel, puts a lot of effort into getting the best guests possible and putting on a show for an area of Texas that is not usually getting the big shows. You know, you have your DFW, you have your Houston, you have your San Antonios, your Austins, and Corpus is a small market. And I'm sure, Katie, you can appreciate that being from a rural area of Texas. It's nice
Sure.
when the small places get some love and get their own
Definitely.
conventions and get some
Definitely.
stuff. So that'll be awesome to see. But for now, I think that's it for us. We don't want to keep Katie too long.
She's
So
got
where can
TikToks
they
to do.
find you? Exactly. She's got
I
TikToks
do.
to do. Where can they find you, Katie? Where do they find you on the socials?
So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Illuminatikittn. That's Illuminati, like the Illuminati, kitten without the E. Yeah.
There you go. There we go. We'll put it on the screen. If you aren't following, you need to. But that's it for us, guys. We will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thank